by ChatGPT in the style of Bishop T.D. Jake's ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I want to talk to you today about something that's more powerful than your past, more powerful than your circumstances, more powerful than the environment you were born into. And that, my friends, is your mind. Success begins with a simple truth. Your mind is the gateway to your destiny. Every great breakthrough, every monumental achievement, every success story you've ever heard started in the mind of the individual who dared to think differently. But here's the thing: you cannot expect success to manifest in your life if you continue to live with an outdated mindset. It's like trying to download the newest software on an old computer. It just won't work. The Bible teaches us that to be transformed, you must first renew your mind, not once, not twice, but every day. It's an ongoing process. The power of transformation begins within, and that begins with your thoughts. You cannot expect to move forward if you're thinking backwards. Your past has already happened, but your future, that's still in your hands. You must make the conscious decision to leave the old thoughts, old patterns, and old habits behind. Every morning you wake up is a chance to refresh, reset, and recalibrate your mind. And while the world may push you to conform to its standards, to think as it thinks, to live as it lives, you've got to choose to think differently. It's your mind. You have the power to control it. The world tells you to be defined by your circumstances, by what you've been through, by what others say about you. But God tells you, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You see, renewing your mind isn't about just brushing off the negative thoughts. It's about reprogramming your brain to think in alignment with your purpose. Renewal is intentional. It's not about hoping things will get better. It's about deciding to make them better. It's about waking up every day and choosing to think thoughts of possibility, of faith, of boldness. You've got to see yourself where you want to be, not where you are. Every day is an opportunity to reclaim your power over your thoughts. When you open your eyes in the morning, it's not just a physical awakening, it's a mental awakening. What you think when you wake up sets the tone for your entire day. If you wake up filled with doubt, anxiety, or negativity, that's the direction your thoughts will go. But if you wake up filled with purpose, ready to take on the world, your mind will align with that energy. One of the greatest mistakes people make is trying to change their circumstances without changing their mindset. You cannot expect to live a transformed life with an unchanged mind. You've got to change how you see things. If you continue to see yourself as a victim of your circumstances, you will always act like one. But if you begin to see yourself as victorious, as someone who can overcome any challenge, then you'll begin to act in ways that align with victory. It's not about waiting for the right circumstances to change. It's about changing your mind so that when the circumstances change, you're ready for them. You can't wait for your breakthrough to happen before you believe it's possible. Your belief has to lead the way. You have to believe you are worthy of success before success comes knocking. And that belief begins in your mind. Think about it. Everything you've accomplished in your life started with a thought. The chair you're sitting in, the phone you're holding, the building you're in, all of it started as a thought in someone's mind. And that thought, when nurtured and acted upon, turned into reality. That's the power of the mind. The mind is the first battlefield, the first place where victory is won or lost. What you think consistently will eventually become your reality. Now, let's be real. Renewing your mind is not always easy. It's not like flipping a switch. We are constantly bombarded by negativity, by fear, by limiting beliefs, and by distractions. But this is where you have to be intentional. You have to commit to renewing your mind every day. That means filling your thoughts with positivity, with possibility, with faith, with focus. Every time a negative thought creeps in, and it will, you have to combat it with truth. This is where the power of affirmations comes in. Speak life over yourself every single day. When your mind tries to tell you you're not good enough, speak the truth. I am capable. I am worthy of success. I have been designed for greatness. When your mind tells you that failure is certain, speak the truth. I will learn from my mistakes, and I will rise stronger. I will not quit. Remember, the more you speak positive truths to yourself, the more your mind will start to believe it. The more you speak life, the more life will begin to manifest in your world. Your mind is the soil, and your words are the seeds. What you sow is what you'll reap. You may be facing challenges today, but don't let your challenges control your mind. You control your mind. Don't let your past mistakes define you. Don't let your current struggles dictate your future. Renew your mind, and you will find strength, clarity, and purpose in every situation. Renew your mind daily, because when you renew your mind, you renew your life. And when you renew your life, you prepare yourself for the success that is waiting for you. You have greatness within you, but it starts with your thoughts. You can't get to success if you're still carrying around yesterday's thinking. It's time to renew your mind and start living the life you were meant to live. If you want to achieve true success in life, you must first learn to discipline your thoughts. You see, the battle for your destiny isn't in the physical realm. It's in your mind. The thoughts that you entertain, the beliefs that you hold onto, and the focus that you maintain will ultimately shape the reality of your life. And let me be clear, your mind is a powerful thing, but it's also a fragile thing. If you do not take control of your thoughts, they will take control of you. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a garden. In a garden, you can grow beautiful flowers or you can grow weeds. The choice is yours. The same is true for your mind. You have the power to plant seeds of possibility, faith, and vision, or you can let weeds of doubt, fear, and negativity take root. If you're going to be successful, you must take responsibility for the thoughts that you allow to grow in your mind. One of the most important things to understand is that you cannot trust every thought that comes into your head. Not every thought is truth. Not every thought is a reflection of who you really are or who you are destined to be. But if you're not careful, you will begin to act on those thoughts, and your actions will align with the lies that you've accepted in your mind. Discipline is the key to breaking free from that cycle. Disciplining your thoughts means recognizing when your mind is leading you down a negative path and taking immediate action to redirect it. It means becoming the gatekeeper of your mind. When negative or limiting thoughts come in, you must stop them at the door before they have the chance to take root. You have the power to say, "No, I refuse to think that way." It takes discipline, yes, but it is absolutely necessary if you want to create the life you desire. You are not a victim of your thoughts. Your mind does not have to dictate your emotions, your decisions, or your actions. Instead, you have the ability to decide what you will allow your mind to dwell on. You must decide to dwell on thoughts that empower you, not those that tear you down. When a thought of failure arises, you must combat it with a thought of possibility and victory. When a thought of fear enters your mind, you must replace it with a thought of courage and faith. This is the discipline of the mind. The discipline of thought doesn't come overnight. It is a practice that you must intentionally engage in every single day. Every day, you will face challenges, distractions, and doubts, but you must be relentless in the way you manage your mind. It's not enough to simply wish for success. You must train your mind to expect success. You must train your mind to stay focused on the end goal, even when the road gets tough. When the enemy of doubt tries to whisper in your ear, you must turn a deaf ear and continue to march forward. Because success is not a matter of what happens to you, it's a matter of what happens in you. One of the most powerful ways to discipline your thoughts is through affirmations and positive self-talk. The mind is deeply influenced by the words we speak, and if you consistently speak life over yourself, you'll begin to believe it. Every time a negative thought arises, counteract it with truth. If you think I'm not good enough, say aloud, I am more than enough. I have everything I need to succeed. If you think this dream is too big for me, say aloud, I serve a big God and I am destined for big things. Speak over your mind as you would speak over a child. nurture it, protect it, and feed it with positive, empowering thoughts. The key to disciplining your thoughts is consistency. It's about building new neural pathways in your brain by consistently thinking and speaking in a new way. At first, this may feel unnatural. It may feel like you're forcing yourself to think in a way that is contrary to how you've always thought. But the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Over time, your thoughts will start to align with your goals and your purpose. The discipline of the mind is like training a muscle. The more you work at it, the stronger it gets, and eventually you'll see the results. But let's be real, it's not always going to be easy. There will be days when you feel discouraged, when the negative thoughts feel overwhelming, when you question whether you have what it takes. In those moments, you need to remind yourself that discipline isn't about perfection. It's about perseverance. It's about pushing through the doubt, the fear, and the challenges, and refusing to let those negative thoughts win. Even on your worst days, you can still make the decision to take control of your thoughts and discipline your mind. Think of it this way: your thoughts are like an orchestra, and you are the conductor. You can choose which instruments will play the melody, and you can silence the ones that threaten to disrupt the harmony. When you choose to discipline your thoughts, you are creating a symphony of success, a melody that leads you toward your dreams and goals. The discipline of your mind is one of the most powerful tools you can possess. When you learn to control your thoughts, you learn to control your destiny. Your mind has the power to either propel you forward or hold you back. But with discipline, you can harness that power and create the life you've always dreamed of. It all starts with a thought, and that thought starts with you. What you feed your mind will ultimately determine the life you create. Just like a seed needs the right soil, water, and sunlight to grow, your mind needs the right input in order to produce the fruits of success. Your thoughts are the seeds, and your mind is the fertile ground where those seeds will grow. But here's the truth. If you are constantly feeding your mind with negativity, doubt, and fear, you cannot expect to see a harvest of hope, confidence, and victory. Success, at its core, is not just about hard work or talent, it's about nurturing the right thoughts. The mind is incredibly powerful, and just like a garden, it will grow whatever you plant in it. If you plant seeds of positivity, of vision, and of belief, your mind will nurture those seeds into actions and outcomes that align with those thoughts. On the other hand, if you plant seeds of self-doubt, limiting beliefs, and negativity, that's what will grow, and that's what will shape your life. You must be intentional about what you allow into your mind, because it will directly impact what you bring into your life. The world today is filled with distractions, negative news, toxic social media, pessimistic voices, and all kinds of distractions that constantly bombard you with messages that can hinder your growth. But in order to produce success, you must filter the information you allow to enter your mind. Think of your mind as a filter, and it is your responsibility to decide what passes through that filter. If you feed it junk, it will produce junk. If you feed it garbage, it will produce negative outcomes. But if you feed it with what is good, true, and empowering, it will produce results that align with those values. You must fill your mind with thoughts that will help you grow, not thoughts that will cause you to shrink back. One of the most powerful ways to feed your mind is through reading. Books are powerful tools for personal development and growth. When you immerse yourself in books that encourage you, challenge you, and expand your perspective, you begin to shift the way you think. There are endless resources available to feed your mind with wisdom, strategy, and insight from people who have gone before you and overcome challenges similar to yours. You cannot afford to leave your mind hungry. Feeding your mind also means surrounding yourself with the right people. Your environment matters. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and if those around you are constantly speaking doubt, fear, and negativity, you are feeding your mind the wrong things. But when you are in the presence of those who encourage, challenge, and inspire you, You are feeding your mind with positive, growth-oriented thoughts. You must surround yourself with people who believe in your potential, who see the greatness within you even when you can't see it yourself. Their belief will begin to fuel your own belief. Additionally, the media you consume, whether that's TV, podcasts, or social media, also plays a huge role in shaping your mindset. If you constantly watch shows that promote negativity, or if you spend hours scrolling through feeds filled with comparisons and unrealistic expectations, it will be hard for your mind to produce anything of value. You must be discerning about what you consume. Make a habit of filling your mind with positive content, things that will elevate your thinking and encourage you to strive for more. Listen to podcasts that inspire you, watch documentaries that educate you, and engage with content that empowers you to grow. But feeding your mind is not just about what you consume externally, it's also about the internal dialogue that you engage in every day. Your self-talk is one of the most powerful forms of nourishment you can give your mind. If you tell yourself that you are not good enough, that you'll never succeed, or that you're not capable, you are feeding your mind with poison. But when you speak words of encouragement, affirmation, and empowerment, you are nourishing your soul and feeding your mind with the confidence and belief it needs to move forward. Positive affirmations are one of the most effective ways to nourish your mind. The words you speak over yourself have the power to shape your reality. If you want to live a successful life, you must first declare success over your life. Speak your goals, your dreams, and your desires out loud. Speak them with the authority that you know they are already yours. I am successful. I am capable of achieving greatness. I am worthy of success. The more you speak these words, the more you feed your mind the belief that you are destined for success. Your mind also needs nourishment from vision. Having a clear vision of where you're going and what you want to achieve helps to guide your thoughts in the right direction. When you have a vision, you can focus your thoughts on the steps that lead to that vision. A vision gives your thoughts purpose and direction. It's like a compass for your mind, guiding it away from distractions and towards your goals. Don't let your mind wander aimlessly, allowing whatever comes to it to take root. Feed it with clarity, with focus, with purpose. When you know what you want, you can align your thoughts with that vision, and your actions will follow. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is to become intentional about what you feed your mind. Every day, you are planting seeds in the garden of your thoughts. Choose to plant seeds that will bring forth a harvest of success. You must feed your mind the nutrients it needs to grow into the person you are meant to be. Feed it truth, feed it inspiration, feed it possibility, and feed it vision. Your mind is the soil, and what you plant in it today will become the fruits of your tomorrow. In the end, you will always reap what you sow. If you sow negativity, doubt, and fear, that's what you'll harvest. But if you sow positivity, possibility, and faith, that's the harvest you will reap. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life, so make sure you are feeding your mind what you want to produce. Your future begins in your mind, and what you choose to feed it today will determine the person you become tomorrow. Thinking alone will never get you to success. It's one thing to have great ideas, to have a vision, and to have the right mindset, but action is the bridge that connects your thoughts to your success. Success isn't just about dreaming big. It's about waking up and doing the work every single day. You can't just sit back and wait for your dreams to come to you. You must chase them down with relentless action. The Bible says, faith without works is dead. That's a powerful reminder that belief and action go hand in hand. Here's the truth. Your thoughts are the seeds, but your actions are the water that helps those seeds grow. You can have the most fertile soil in the world, but if you don't water it, nothing will sprout. In the same way, if you don't take action on the ideas, dreams, and plans you've cultivated in your mind, they'll never come to fruition. Taking action is what brings your vision to life. Now, action doesn't always mean massive steps. Often, it's the consistent small actions taken every day that compound to create big results. Every day, you have to make the choice to move forward, even if it's just a little bit. Small steps, when taken consistently, lead to monumental progress. You may not see immediate results from your actions, but do not be discouraged. Every step you take moves you closer to your goal. The key to success is not to be intimidated by the magnitude of the task in front of you, but to focus on the next step you can take. So many people fail not because they lack vision or potential, but because they fail to take that first step. Taking action requires courage. It requires you to step out of your comfort zone, to take risks, and to trust that even when you don't have all the answers, taking action is the key to figuring it out. Don't let fear of failure paralyze you. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is a part of the journey. Each failure is a lesson, and each lesson brings you closer to success. One of the biggest challenges people face is fear of the unknown. They want to have everything figured out before they take a step. But let me tell you, you will never have all the answers. Success is a journey, not a destination. You don't need to have all the details worked out, but you do need to start. The more you wait for the perfect moment, the more opportunities pass you by. You have to make the decision to act not when everything is perfect, but when you are ready to move forward with what you have. Taking action doesn't mean you won't face obstacles. In fact, you will face challenges, that's a given. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is the ability to keep moving forward despite the obstacles. You may encounter setbacks, but that's not a reason to stop. It's simply a reason to keep going, to push through, and to be determined. Action requires resilience. It requires the ability to pick yourself up when you fall, to keep running when you're exhausted, and to keep believing when everything around you seems uncertain. When you take action, you are telling the universe, I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in the work I'm putting in. I believe in the vision I've set for my life. Your actions speak louder than your words. It's easy to talk about success, to plan for it, to think about it. But it's those who take consistent, intentional actions who will eventually see their dreams come to life. The effort you put in today determines the results you'll see tomorrow. But here's a secret: action alone is not enough. It's not just about doing something. It's about doing the right things. It's about being strategic in your actions. If you keep taking action, but you're not focused on the right things, you might find yourself spinning your wheels. This is why you need to have clarity of purpose and intention. Every action you take must align with your larger vision. When you have a clear vision of where you're going, it becomes easier to take the necessary actions that will get you there. Also, don't forget the importance of consistency. It's not enough to take one or two big actions and think that will change everything. You need to show up every day ready to take action, even when it feels difficult, even when you don't feel like it. Success is built on daily habits, not sporadic bursts of energy. When you commit to showing up every day, even when you're tired, even when you're discouraged, you build momentum. Momentum is a powerful force that propels you forward, and the more consistent you are, the more unstoppable you become. One of the most powerful things about taking action is that it creates opportunities. Every step you take opens up new possibilities. You never know who you will meet, what opportunities will arise, or how your efforts will lead to unexpected breakthroughs. Action leads to momentum, and momentum opens doors. If you don't take that first step, you will never know what could have been. But when you take action, even imperfect action, you put yourself in a position to receive the rewards that follow. Finally, let's talk about accountability. When you take action, it's essential to hold yourself accountable. Set deadlines, create a schedule, and stick to it. Accountability fuels progress. You must be disciplined in your actions. Set clear goals and regularly check your progress to make sure you're moving in the right direction. When you have accountability, whether it's to yourself or someone else, you are much more likely to stay committed and keep moving forward. So, as you think about your goals and your dreams, remember, thinking and planning are important, but action is the key to transformation. Your thoughts are the blueprint, but your actions are what build the structure. You have to take the next step, no matter how small, no matter how uncertain you may feel. The most successful people are not the ones who have everything figured out. They are the ones who take action and learn as they go. Success belongs to those who are willing to move forward, no matter what. If you are going to achieve success, you must understand that obstacles are not a roadblock to your progress, but rather a part of the journey. Obstacles are inevitable. They will show up at every turn, and if you don't learn how to navigate them, they can derail your dreams. But here's the secret. Obstacles don't have the power to stop you unless you allow them to. Success is not determined by whether or not obstacles come your way. It's determined by how you respond to them. One of the first things you must understand is that obstacles are not personal. The challenges you face are not an indication that you're doing something wrong or that you're being punished. They are simply part of the process. Every person who has ever achieved anything worthwhile has faced obstacles, from the smallest setbacks to the most significant challenges. Obstacles are a universal experience, and overcoming them is often the key to reaching the next level in your journey. What separates those who succeed from those who give up is the ability to persevere in the face of obstacles. When adversity strikes, many people choose to quit, to throw in the towel and walk away. But successful people don't quit. They persist. They understand that setbacks are temporary, but the lessons they learn from overcoming those obstacles are invaluable. The road to success is not a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and detours. But each obstacle is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. When obstacles come your way, the first thing you must do is shift your perspective. Instead of seeing obstacles as signs that you're on the wrong path, choose to view them as opportunities to prove your resilience. See them as challenges that will test your determination and make you more equipped for the future. Every obstacle you overcome is a victory in itself, and it moves you one step closer to your ultimate goal. Another key to overcoming obstacles is staying committed to your purpose. When things get tough, it's easy to lose sight of why you started in the first place. You may feel discouraged, you may want to give up, but in those moments you have to return to your purpose. Your purpose is the fuel that keeps you going. When you remember why you started this journey, it reignites your passion and helps you push through the hard times. Your purpose will always be greater than the temporary obstacles you face. Stay focused on your why, and the how will become much clearer. One of the most powerful tools you have when facing obstacles is your mindset. Your mind has the ability to either empower you or defeat you. If you let negative thoughts, doubt, or fear dominate your thinking, the obstacles in front of you will seem insurmountable. But if you train your mind to focus on solutions, possibilities, and opportunities, the obstacles will feel smaller. Your mindset is your weapon in the battle against adversity. You must choose to see obstacles as stepping stones to success, not as roadblocks that will stop you. It's all about perspective and how you choose to frame the challenges you face. Staying consistent in the face of adversity is another crucial element of overcoming obstacles. Consistency is the key that unlocks the door to success. It's easy to remain consistent when things are going well. It's easy to show up when the results are flowing and the path is clear. But real consistency is proven when the road is difficult and the progress seems slow. When you face setbacks, when you feel like you're not moving forward, that's when consistency matters the most. Consistency is not about being perfect every day. It's about showing up, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times you fall. The key to consistency is small, deliberate actions. You don't have to do everything perfectly, and you don't need to have all the answers. What matters is that you take consistent steps forward, even if they're small. Every action, no matter how minor, is a step in the right direction, and over time, those small steps compound into big results. Success is built on the foundation of consistent effort, not sporadic bursts of energy. When you keep showing up, even on the hardest days, you are building the muscle of resilience and determination. You must also be willing to adapt and adjust your approach when faced with obstacles. Sometimes, the obstacles you encounter are the result of a flaw in your strategy. You may be doing everything right, but the method you're using might not be working as well as you thought. This is where flexibility and adaptability come into play. Instead of allowing obstacles to discourage you, see them as signals that you might need to change direction or approach. Adapting to the situation is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of growth and an ability to learn from your experiences. The most successful people are those who can quickly pivot when things aren't working, adjust their strategy, and keep moving forward. Another vital element of overcoming obstacles is self-care and mental resilience. It's easy to get worn out when you're constantly battling challenges. But in order to stay consistent and overcome obstacles, you must take care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Make time for rest, recharge your energy, and take breaks when needed. Self-care isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Without it, you risk burnout, and burnout will only make it harder to stay consistent and overcome obstacles. Take care of your body, mind, and spirit, so you have the strength to face whatever comes your way. Lastly, remember that you are not alone. Success is rarely achieved in isolation. You need a support system of mentors, friends, and family who can lift you up when you're feeling down. Seek out those who have walked the path before you and who can offer guidance and encouragement. Surround yourself with people who believe in you and who will help you push through the obstacles. So, as you face the inevitable obstacles that will come your way, understand that they are not meant to stop you. Obstacles are the proving ground for your character, your resilience, and your determination. They are opportunities to rise above, to adapt, to learn, and to grow. The more obstacles you overcome, the closer you get to the success you desire. Consistency, mindset, and a willingness to learn from each challenge are what will keep you moving forward toward your goals. In conclusion, training your brain for success is not a one-time event, but a lifelong journey. It begins with understanding the immense power of your thoughts. Your mind is the foundation of everything you will achieve, and it is crucial to feed it the right information, beliefs, and habits that will nurture your growth. Your thoughts have the power to shape your reality, so it is essential to guard them, challenge them, and feed them with positivity, vision, and purpose. But even the best thoughts will fall short if you don't take action. Action is the engine that drives your dreams forward. The visions and ideas you carry within you will only come to life through deliberate, consistent steps. Don't be afraid to start small, and don't be afraid to stumble along the way. Every action you take brings you closer to your desired future. As you take action, remember that obstacles are a part of the process. They are not signs of failure, but stepping stones to success. Resilience is built in the face of adversity, and your ability to persist in the face of challenges will determine your level of success. Stay committed, stay consistent, and always believe that your goals are within reach, no matter how many obstacles may try to stand in your way. Ultimately, success is not about perfection, but about progress. It's about consistently showing up, even when the road gets tough, and having the courage to keep moving forward. Your success is within your reach, and it begins with training your mind to believe, to act, and to overcome. So start today. Feed your mind with the right thoughts. Take bold action and stay consistent. For the success you seek is already within you, waiting to be unlocked by the power of your thoughts, actions, and persistence.